Thank you for tuning in. My name is Chris with the Headlight Revolution. Find us online at www.headlightrevolution.com. We have the internet's largest selection of different LED headlights, and today it's my pleasure to showcase the JW Speaker 8700 Evolution. These are 7-inch round LED headlights designed to fit any PAR 56 or sealed beam H6024 headlight. They're plug and play with an H4 connector on the back. They come in black or chrome, and they're absolutely incredible. You're going to love these. These are actually a redesigned model of the original 8700. The new 8700 is much slimmer, and the main reason for doing this is so that they fit in Harley-Davidson headlight buckets without modification and the Jeep Wrangler headlight buckets without modification. The styling has been updated a bit since the original 8700, but the light output is practically identical. So just a few things. These will fit in, like I said, any vehicle with 7-inch round sealed beam headlights, but many modern vehicles have a 7-inch round headlight that's composite, whereas the bulb comes out of the housing. It's not a sealed beam. And on some vehicles, specifically the Jeep Wrangler, JK, or the Land Rover, you're going to have issues with the headlights flickering. Now, I'd like to put this issue to rest once and for all. It's not an issue with the headlights, it's an issue with your truck. So many vehicles nowadays use a CAN bus system to control the headlights and to monitor different functions and what's going on. Jeep Wranglers, for example, use a pulse width modulation to send voltage to the headlights, and with LEDs, with how sensitive they are to voltage fluctuations, they will actually flicker. And to fix that problem, we have come up with these really great waterproof anti-flicker harnesses. They're specifically designed for the JK Jeep Wrangler and these JW Speaker 8700 LED headlights, but we've had people use them with truck light LED headlights and on other vehicles, and they work really well. Everything is encased, it's waterproof, and you can see the connectors are very nice. You plug in your factory H13 connector here, and you plug in the LED headlight H4 connector right there. But enough about our harnesses, more about the lights. One of the reasons why I love these lights, aside from the fact that they have the world's best light output and they look awesome, is that they're actually made in the USA. Germantown, Wisconsin, to be exact, where JW Speaker's headquarters is located. They also, as of recently in 2013, have a lifetime warranty. So there's no need to worry about these headlights during the lifetime that you own them. They'll be covered under warranty. Also, the thing that separates these headlights out from others is that they have a super wide beam pattern with no shadowing, no weird hot spots. The light output is absolutely gorgeous, and in a minute, we're actually going to show you what the light output looks like. First, we're going to talk about what is shown on the actual headlight behind the lens. At the top here, it says Speaker. That's the Speaker logo for JW Speaker Corporation. You can see the styling. If you're familiar with the old 8700, this looks a little bit different, but it's essentially the same shape. And these are also a little bit different than the JW Speaker built LED headlights for Harley-Davidson. If you put them side by side, you can tell that they're the same thing, but there are a few different styling cues that aren't really that noticeable. On the sides, there's one D-shaped projector on the left and one D-shaped projector on the right. Behind each of these D-shaped projectors is an LED, and that's what creates our left to right beam pattern output. There's a large projector on the bottom and a small projector on the top, and these produce our high and low beam differences in the beam pattern. Now on the bottom, on the lens, it says DOT, VOR, LED, SAE, HL12. DOT means they're DOT compliant. VOR means they can be visually adjusted. LED means that the light output source is from an LED, they meet the requirements to be SAE approved, which is a manufacturing specification. So we'll look at the back side. Right here on this metal fin, there's a little tiny see-through sticker. And this one says January 3rd, 2013. So this is a manufacturing label. It tells us this headlight was brought off the production line in Wisconsin on January 3rd, 2013. Right above it, the large white sticker says 8700 12/24 volt LED HLDOT. So 8700 is our model number. 12 or 24 volts is the input voltage that it will accept to operate properly. LED light source, and again, DOT approved. On the sides of the flange, you have 4 yellow dots, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. These are moisture vents to allow any trapped moisture out, so you'll never have condensation build up behind the lens on the front. They have an H4 connector with about 2.5 inches or so of wires exposed, and you can see that the connection out of the headlight is sealed up, so there's absolutely no chance of getting any moisture in from there. The reason for going in with an H4 connector is because most vehicles that would use this type of headlight would have an H4 connector. So like on your older vehicles that use a sealed beam headlamp, this would be drop-in, plug and play. Now there's a reason I like to call this one the world's best 7-inch LED headlight. The low beam pattern is the widest, the fullest, the prettiest. I mean, this thing's just fantastic. The beam pattern, there's no hot spots, there's no funny shadows. You know, light is all positioned exactly where it was meant to be. There's no funny business here. There's nothing low quality about this beam pattern. And you can see how incredibly wide it is. Here's the far right side, and here's the far left side. This beam pattern is so wide, some people have said when installed on their vehicles that going down a split 4-lane highway, the beam pattern of a pair of these lights goes all the way across all 4 lanes of traffic. They're that impressive. This is the low beam, and the high beam is a little bit different. The left to right beam pattern won't change, but that little tweak at the very top that kind of shoots off to the right is going to change from that to a very strong rectangular shaped light output. Here's the low beam, there's the high beam. That's literally the only thing that changes, is you get this big bar light output shape up top. So not only does the intensity right in the middle get brighter, but look at the immediate left to right light output from that high beam. A lot changes at the upper portion of the light. Now some people might say, well, on film this doesn't look like a lot, but when you get it on the open road and you're shining down several hundred meters, this high beam is really quite impressive. Here's high beam again. Here's low beam. You can notice the upward to the right slope as to not blind oncoming drivers. These are DOT approved and easily the best LED headlight available. So now here's our outdoor testing range. We have the sign set up to show 100 yards, and the stop sign at the end of the road is 200 yards away from the light output. This is a single 7-inch round 8700, and you can see it has no problem lighting up the entire road all by itself. So just think what it would be like if you had 2 of these on a Jeep or another vehicle. This picture also shows a good representation of what the color looks like. There's a yellow band near the bottom. In the middle, it's a perfect white color right where you need it. So it's great for driving in all kinds of situations. It is an extremely wide beam pattern, and our camera could barely catch the left to right output. It's really quite impressive. So now when we switch it to high beam, the light really comes alive. Remember when we were showing you the pictures indoors, how the high beam didn't really seem to be that impressive? Well, in a real world application like this, you can see that the high beam now shines much higher and much further down the road. Again, that stop sign at the end of the road is 200 yards away, and the trees beyond that are probably another 40 feet or so. This high beam really makes this headlight work. The entire beam pattern gets brighter and it shines higher and further down the road. Again, this is just one headlight. Imagine what it would be like if you had 2. Some specifications for the JW speaker model number 8700 are: the low beam puts out 1,350 lumens. The high beam puts out 1,770 lumens. It is DOT compliant, uses UV resistant polycarbonate lens and die cast aluminum housing. The rugged solid state LEDs LEDs can withstand shock and vibration, has a 12 to 24 volt DC input, 2.5 amp current draw, uses an H4 connector, and has an IP67 waterproof rating. Our 7-inch round 8700 LED headlight fits very well in the JW Speaker family line of LED products. Here is the 5x7 version. You can see some big similarities, round projectors to do your high and low, D-shaped projectors on either side for your left to right beam pattern, and the shape of everything behind the lens is very similar as well. Then if you look over here to the 4.5-inch round JW Speaker fog light, these two match very well again. Your D-shaped projectors, very similar design, and the surface finish of the bezel matches perfectly. These are very common to use together. The 4.5-inch round light here would fit a Jeep Wrangler fog light or a Harley Davidson driving light, and both of those vehicles would also use this 7-inch round headlight. So it's very common to find these products together. Thank you for watching our video today on the JW Speaker 8700 LED headlight. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe, because we do reviews like this all the time. Every time a new light comes out, we review it. We do some installation demos. So if you like this kind of thing, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to buy one, we have them for sale. Check the links in our description for the video, or visit us online at www.headlightrevolution.com. We'll see you next time.